afternoon, and welcome to All About Lincoln podcast. I am your host, Grace Tibbetts, and today I am with Bobbie Worster Stormann, who is running for the Lincoln Town Office. So today we're going to have a discussion with her and kind of get to know her a little bit and see what she thinks. So hello, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you for inviting me.
Well, you're very welcome. So what made you want to take the plunge and run for town council?
It's actually kind of a long story. It dates back to my last year of teaching. In 2016, I was teaching in Laconia, New Hampshire, 4th grade, and I got so tired of hearing the students parroting their parents' political conversations. And this was right before the primary in February in New Hampshire. So I said, we are not discussing politics until we research the candidates and where they stand on the issues. So we took the next 3 weeks studying the candidates on both sides, some issues. And during that time, I stressed to them the importance of voting, of volunteering, and running for office if they could. These students are actually eligible to vote in the 2024 presidential election.
That's awesome. And I bet you they have gotten a lot from you to help inform them. That's awesome.
This whole time I've been thinking, I really hope they remember what Mrs. Stormann taught them.
Right.
And what Mrs. Stormann taught them was to become involved, run for office. So my words have been kind of rattling around in my head for a while. And I decided it's time for me to get involved.
Awesome. That is really awesome of you. So it's more like, it's almost like a duty.
Yes,
it is. To be able to put your thoughts out there and then to put it into action by doing your civic duty of running for candidates. So now the next question comes, what are some of your ideas and what makes it that you want to put those ideas into effect here in Lincoln?
Okay. I think it's been mentioned a lot, taxes are high. I like how Mary Lamonaco points out that you can do these cuts to fire and police, but your insurance rates are going to increase, so it's not really going to be a savings. We really need to bring in more businesses so that they can take some of the raw land around the mill site property, make improvements. We can start collecting revenue for that. We also have a big problem in town where during the pandemic and after, a lot of people from away moved to Lincoln. They bought a lot of raw property, they've made improvements, or they bought maybe a rundown property.
Right.
They've made a lot of improvements, but nobody's ever really followed up on those building permits to start taxing them at the rates that they should be. I know that Byron Sanders is working on that, but he leaves in December, so it's really critical that his work continues. I think it's also very critical, and it's going to be a big push if I get elected, to take a look at what Ruth Burtz is doing. She's working 2.5 full-time positions. 2 of those full-time positions are revenue generating positions, the economic development assistant and the tax assessing. It's really hard for one person to do a full-time job well. It's impossible for her to do 2.5 jobs well. We really need to separate those out and get revenue generated that both of those positions can. And we also need to train a replacement for Ruth. She's 68 years old. She's going to want to retire, and this town is going to be in a really bad position if we don't do something to harness her knowledge, allow her to train her replacement. So those are some of the things that I am looking to bring to the table. I also feel like, a lot's been said about the town manager. He's not likable. I feel it would be detrimental to get rid of him when we are so close to monetizing the mill project. I feel like he needs to do more in the town to make himself more visible, more accountable. I know when I was a teacher, I had a yearly performance review. I had to track my progress all year on objectives. I had to show that my students made progress and all of that. I feel like anybody in a professional position should have those accountability parameters to refer back to. I'm not sure if that's the case. If it isn't, it certainly should be.
Right.
In that respect. I mean, when you do look at his salary compared to the public safety directors, it isn't really that far apart. And he has been here for at least 7 years, I know of, because when we moved to town, he was the town manager. When we moved back to town, he was the town manager. So it is realistic that somebody would get raises throughout that time. And I do feel that it is critical to not suddenly fire somebody, have to get a replacement. We will lose momentum on the mill project.
So you're talking about the mill project. Can you tell me a little bit more about what is the mill project and where do you see Lincoln's role in that?
So obviously, the big biofines, the battery that's coming in there. Those are the big companies, but I feel like we also need to focus on those smaller and medium companies. When my husband and I moved back to Lincoln, our focus was a little bit different. We were looking for more of a manufacturing focus, and there was nothing available to rent or to even like a raw land that we could put up a quick, $100,000 metal building to get started. It just isn't there. That mill project needs to be developed for a small industrial park. So our young plumbers coming out of Eastern Maine Community College, electricians, contractors, they could come to Lincoln, they could set up a quick business, get started. We need all of those professionals in this community. We're always screaming for plumbers, electricians, contractors, handymen, but they have no place to come and set up their business that's low cost that they can quickly turn around. So the mill could be used for that as well. The workforce housing, that excites me. We need housing in Lincoln. We really do. And it needs to be affordable housing.
So you say that you moved back to Lincoln. When did you move back up here?
So I actually grew up in Lincoln. My mom's Pam Ridley. She worked as the bailiff in the court system for 40 years. She's short and don't mess with her. And my husband and I graduated from MA in '88. We went to UMaine. After UMaine, we went to Southern Maine for jobs because unfortunately there was just no jobs up here in Lincoln at the time. We moved to New Hampshire for about 20 years. I got my master's in education there. In 2016, my dad was a couple of years into his cancer journey. So we moved back here in 2017 to help him through his cancer journey. He passed in 2020, so I did get 3 years with him.
Sorry about that.
During that time, we actually started our CBD products company, selling dog biscuits. That's actually one of our most popular products still, CBD lotion. We sell that actually all over the country. And we actually really fought hard to locate our business in Lincoln because we love Lincoln, and Lincoln's a gem. We couldn't wait to get out of Lincoln when we graduated from high school. Couldn't wait to get out of here. But the longer you're away from Lincoln, coming back to visit family, the more you realize this is a wonderful community. The lakes, the people, the community, it's a great place to be. And when we were looking to locate our business, we really had to present our plan town to town to town. And we presented in about 60 towns, and we were always holding out for Lincoln because it was home, and it's just such a great community. And it's something
and this is where you wanted to be.
Yeah, this is
so
home.
As a business, so you are a business owner, and how do you make it how do you feel that the town council and the town itself is making businesses profitable to be able to be in Lincoln and to grow and to thrive?
So I know that we rent, so we're paying rent to somebody who is paying business taxes to the town. So I don't know about the tax rate and all that, but I feel like anytime that the town can make it easy for business owners to expand, I know that I was reading something about code enforcement. It's hard to get code enforcements, to get people to go out there to quickly, approve a project and things like that. So I know right now Lincoln's code enforcement is out. So just making sure that those things don't fall down. When we were trying to get our business up and running, the longer it takes to get those approvals, that's money every day that it's costing to not be open, and it's cost all of those expenses. So I just in code enforcement, making things easy, things like that. And just marketing Lincoln as a place to come and live and work and, you know, set up your business it's really important. Lincoln, it's particularly for businesses, we're a feeder community. All those residents from Springfield, Wynn, Mattawamkeag, Winnipeg Lock, you know, Burlington, they all come to Lincoln to buy their groceries, to you know, buy their cannabis, to have their pets groomed and things like that. So anybody who's looking to set up a business in Lincoln, I really feel like the town can market this town and make it easy for businesses to come.
So what are the things, like when you get to be on the town councils, what are some of the priorities that you want to set up to help Lincoln residents and to thrive and want to stay here?
I think one of the most immediate things that we can do is really push to collect that tax revenue that is sitting out there with those that property that hasn't been assessed. It's still assessed at raw, and it has a, you know, a $300,000 house on it now. Those need to be identified, and if it can't stop in December when Byron leaves, it has to continue. Economic development, we have to be going after grants, not just for the mill property, but, you know, can we improve our parks? You know, what are ways we can improve Lincoln through grants? The economic development assistant, you know, should just be a grant writer, you know, finding all those grants, but she doesn't have time.
Now, what do you say to those people who say that taxes are so high we can't even live here? We're gonna have to pack up and go somewhere else?
Taxes are high. They are. That is due to the assessments. The mill rate has been kept steady, and unfortunately the council can only control the mill rate.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely. So why should someone vote for you versus someone else? Why do you think qualities that you have that no one else has?
I care. I've always wanted to volunteer in my community. I was the president of the Autism Education Fund. It's a nonprofit I founded because there was a need. I was a library trustee. I am the president of the Chamber of Commerce. I've always felt it's important for me to give back to the community that I'm living in. I work hard in everything I do. I don't have all the answers, but I'm smart and I can certainly find them, and I certainly ask all those annoying questions of people. And I think that I push for answers. I don't like waste. I don't like being told that I have to pay for things that aren't needed, and I don't feel like the residents of Lincoln should have to either. We need to look at wants versus needs. We're in for some tough times. There's going to be increases in health insurance. That's going to hurt. But yeah, we need to get through this and get the mill developed, get more businesses, more jobs in Lincoln. And I'm very excited about having the opportunity to do that as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you think will push you over the edge? Anything else that you would like to tell the voters today?
I guess, if you're going to vote on November 4th, I would love it if you vote for me. If you're thinking about voting and not sure, please go out and vote. I know it's a small election. It's just local with 2 referendum questions, but voting is extremely important, and it is our civic duty. So I'm just asking everybody to take the time to vote on November 4th.
All right, well, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Thank you for listening to All About Lincoln.
Thank you.